So what skills did you need or develop in advocating for Dan?
Well, a few, I guess, but it sort of creeps up on you, so you don't quite realise that's what you're doing. But during Dan's sort of complex journey through life and trying to get a good life for him, we've had to deal with a whole pile of ordinary and not so ordinary people, I guess. So I made a list of what the sort of people we had to deal with. So we had to deal with principals, teachers, public servants of all levels, directors of education, politicians, including ministers in the government, people from advocacy and service organisations, priests, psychologists, bishops, journalists, business owners, news agents, who actually are the news agents are the greatest people. I recommend you go and see news agents. News agents, neighbours, friends, police and family members. And some have been great and some have been awful. And there's no, and your stereotypical views about what people are like based on their professions are no real guide to their usefulness or their humanity. There's lots of people out there, and they're all some are good and some are bad and some are useless and some are you couldn't really do without. And we tried to deal with them all in a way that, at the very least, didn't make life worse for Dan, and hopefully it made it better. And so with all of those people, we learned not to be rude. Really important. Don't be rude, even though people may deserve a blast or two of what you might think. And we weren't exactly perfect about all that, but assertive is good, but don't let it break into anger, because often it'll just be used as an excuse to dismiss you. And decision makers are often looking for an excuse to dismiss you, because decision making is difficult, and often it can be costly for them. So if you act always as a reasonable person, you always get further than trying to crash through or crash. You go to lots of meetings. I've been to more meetings than what I can count, really. And it's really, really important to know what your vision is, because it helps you keep a bit of a focus on where you're heading in this particular sort of situation. So you need to do your homework. You need to know your rights, and you shouldn't go alone unless you really, really have to. Take a sympathetic, powerful person if that's possible. At one stage we took to a particularly hostile set of meetings the Anglican Dean of Grafton, which settled the tone. It's quite surprising, really. He was pretty shocked though by the aggression, but nonetheless it was probably a good learning curve for him, I guess. And you should try and set the agenda, or at the very least know what their agenda is, both the spoken and the unspoken. And you should be as tenacious and articulate as you can, and make them, because they're supposed to be the experts, explain everything that you don't understand. And take notes and keep records and make sure that there's an outcome, because from my particular experience, people who are employed in this part of the world often think just having a meeting is the outcome in itself, and you need something to have changed or to be agreed or whatever. Otherwise, the whole thing was just a waste of time. It can be useful if things are getting really serious. It can be really useful to involve your local MP, even if it's just to keep them informed. It won't always help, but it never hurts. Never hurts. Sometimes, and I've been guilty of this, I've thought using the media might be a good idea. And it can be if it works, but it is a two-edged sword. Disability is a complex issue, and the media does not like complexity. So tread carefully, I would suggest. In all things, take advantage of the opportunities as they present themselves, even if they don't seem perfect and the timing doesn't seem to be right, because they may not come around again. So you need to be a bit brave and take a few leaps in the dark, because you'll be surprised what can actually happen. And believe in yourself, because you might not think so, but you know more about anyone else. You know more about your family member than anyone else does, even though you may not think you do.